Wait for the music to finish. Yes, yes. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good morning to all our listeners.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Welcome to the Magic Hat Show, episode number 5, where it's Lee, Jam, and Gab. Lee, Jam, Gab. All three avid Arsenal fans. Absolutely. Okay, so it's one club, no drama. Right. Thank you to all the new subscribers on YouTube. Please continue to share, like, and tell everyone else to subscribe. And then thank you to all our new followers on Instagram and Twitter. And anyone wishing to follow us on both platforms, you can do on the Magic Hat Show. This show, we shall be discussing. In our first segment, we'll be talking about the team's performance. Oh, dearie me. Our players' performance and the manager's performance. The player ratings, who played for the badge, and who needs to get in the bin. This should be interesting, believe me.
Absolutely.
Then in our second segment, this week, we had the signing of Aubameyang.
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, 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 Aubameyang. And then on the end of that, we've got Tim Sherwood's comments.
Ooh.
Yes, Tim
Who are ya?
Exactly. Tim Sherwood's comments on, the Aubameyang signing and on on Arteta. Okay, and then we've got, we'll be delving into Torreira's departure and all the interest that's coming from Italy and even the rumour of Spain. Then we've got the thoughts on Liverpool away and Leicester away that are, imminent. We've got Leicester during the midweek and then Liverpool the following week on the Monday, I do believe. And then we're just going to tail off to our neighbours down the road, the Lily Whites, who had a victory today, 5-1, I believe. And we're going to be talking about Danny Rose's treatment by Spurs. If anyone's ever seen the documentary that's on Amazon Prime, we'll be we'll be touching on that. And then...
What was that, the documentary called Nothing for Spurs?
Ooh,
yeah, the one where they win nothing, yeah?
Oh, well, yeah, we'll keep it like that. And then the signing or the re-signing of the player that Spurs have taken 7 years to replace, which is Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
No drum roll. Anyway, what we will be doing, we'll be going back down memory lane, and in this segment, we'll be looking at the best and the worst keepers. This should be interesting. Very interesting. And then, right at the end, just to conclude the show, we'll be giving our score predictions on the Leicester game and the Liverpool game. Yeah. So,
let's get started.
Let's get started on
in.
what we witnessed yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Who wants to go first? Because my heart is still dancing on my tongue.
Gab is raring to go.
I was expecting a difficult game against West Ham. I think we all were. It's a London derby. These games are particularly difficult. Everybody talks about, the North London derby. But London derbies are particularly difficult, which is hence why London clubs tend to struggle because they have more teams to play against.
Yep.
Manchester clubs only have each other.
Yep.
Liverpool clubs only have each other. Liverpool against Manchester United is a big game, but London tends to have
extra spice.
About 5 teams in the Premier League, which is 5 extra tough games.
Yeah,
on top of the tough games already.
It's really true.
So we knew West Ham weren't going to be as shocking as they were last week.
Mm-hmm.
We knew they were going to turn up. They always have a plan.
Emirates plan.
Yep. Antonio always plays out of his skin.
Yep. He turns
whenever
into
he plays us.
The next coming of
he's like Bobby Zamora.
Yeah.
It's like
anyone that's been a thorn in our side.
Well, anybody who's just bang average throughout the season, as soon as they play Arsenal, they turn into world-class players. And then the following week, they go back to being average.
Exactly.
And that's what happened. Antonio he wasn't giving Gabriel a problem. But whenever he went over to Bellerin side, he was manhandling Bellerin.
And that was deliberate.
Holding had a tough game with him.
Holding had a tough game with him.
It was deliberate.
Of course.
It was deliberate.
You're not gonna stay somewhere you're not getting any joy. You're going to keep moving until you find
Yeah.
a weak spot.
Yeah.
And then once you find that weak spot, you're going to keep pounding until it breaks.
Yeah. It's true. So true.
Yeah, he found no joy in Gabriel. So, that was good to see. But,
However.
and a big but.
And however.
We just allowed West Ham to put so many crosses into the box. And they just got joy from that.
Yeah.
No closing down whatsoever.
Yeah, it was really weird how...
We allowed that to happen.
Yes. I don't know whether the complacency came from the stadiums being empty. I'm sure that must have some psychological impact that, the fans aren't there to get on your
them.
back.
Yeah, get on their case.
Yeah, they're not there to get on your back or to praise you and, give you that energy.
Yeah.
But even still, you know what West Ham are going to do? Arteta said it in his post-match comments.
He did.
I told the players what to expect, and they didn't
Thank you.
adjust. And they didn't take
Thank
it on.
you. Brings up the point.
Yeah.
Once you cross that white line, you've been given your instructions. And once you cross that white line, you can't blame the manager. It's you guys.
You have to implement his ethos. Yeah.
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 No, it was terrible, man.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not being complacent and arrogant, but I'm buoyed by the previous results. But it seemed like, because it was just going back from, let's say Liverpool, then Man City, then a good victory against Chelsea, then a good victory in the, Community Shield against Liverpool. Yeah. I was like, okay, if we could take that to every team. But it looked like West Ham's confidence grew from our sloppy passing. It was just our sloppy play.
Arteta said it, that was the worst 15, 20 minutes that he's seen us play.
Yeah, whilst he's been in charge.
And the irony is that in the same interview he said that this week was the best week that he's seen us train. Which is like, you're into boxing, right? So some fighters, they leave all in the training camp. Yeah. Once they come to the fight, they have nothing, right? You've seen that.
I've seen that,
right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting from what I saw. But as soon as I saw Kolasinac start, I was like, oh. As soon as I saw, because they targeted that left-hand side because they knew that was Arsenal's weakest side. Because you had Saka, who played very well going forward, right?
He was off for me.
He looked rusty.
Yeah,
he looked rusty defensively. His touch was
but what I liked
like
about him,
on a trampoline.
He had. But what I liked about him, he had later in the game, he had enough nous, right, to put his head up and play a beautiful pass to.
Of course,
we'll get on to that. But as soon as I saw Kolasinac, I said, "This guy," and everything that happened after that just justified my my actual thought.
But Kolasinac offers nothing.
Yeah, he offers
defensively
or
offensively.
All you have to do going for first. He just looked out of shape. He just really looked out of shape.
Did he look Luke Shaw out of shape or just out
not
of shape?
Luke Shaw? No. Not
worse than that.
Oh my God! Have you seen Luke Shaw? It was like who's that on the level? Was that
who's ate all the pies and who's ate Wayne Rooney?
Was that
well?
Wayne? It's like he ate Wayne Rooney for lunch. Like I said
Luke
to you,
Shaw, man, he's on the burger and chips, mate. Yeah, well, going back to the bodyguard.
Yeah, going back to the bodyguard. He wasn't closing down. He wasn't attacking. He wasn't doing anything. And they realized within the first few minutes that side is really weak. So Frederick, who
was having joy.
Who was the previous week. I've seen the Newcastle. He was average, right? He looks like an ex-coming of Cafu.
Yeah, but like we say, every team that comes to the Emirates, they all play out of their skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they do.
And we need to put these teams in their place.
Yeah,
but we can't, unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah. So that will come onto the midfield, but I thought the way that we started the game, like you said, gave them so much confidence, and
so much belief.
It was like they were, because they came into the game nervous.
Yeah, of course.
Fans on them. they've lost to an average Newcastle team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking going into this game.
We knew it was going to be tough,
Yes,
but I thought we would have.
we wouldn't.
I was expecting maybe a 3-1,
Yeah.
a tough game, but a comfortable win.
Yes.
But that game was not comfortable in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
No way.
And in
we have
fact,
to
West Ham should have probably come out of that with a win or a draw at the very
At
least.
least they should not have gone away with no points.
Empty-handed, yeah.
No way.
We have to
Yeah,
give
they should
credit.
have gone away with a blankety-blank checkbook and pen.
Exactly.
We have to give credit to David Moyes. I thought his game plan was spot on.
I don't even think it's about game plan personally.
They
I
were
just
well
think it
drilled.
was our own errors. It was our own
We
errors.
were just giving the ball away. Our passing was slow.
Up top, we had no ideas. Creatively, my goodness, what was our imagination and invention like? It was
Yeah,
poor.
we have too many passes.
Lacazette and Aubameyang were making great runs, but it's just no one finding them.
No one can find them.
Yeah.
This for me yesterday, as much as we've praised Xhaka in the last few weeks, yesterday highlighted Xhaka's limitations for me with his passes. Some of the passes over the top to Aubameyang were like,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be an elite level passer. Fabregas would have put that on a sixpence.
Yeah.
You know, Xabi Alonso would have put that on a sixpence
And he
from
was-
the middle of the pitch.
And he was
you were
frightening
overhitting
me.
them.
Yeah, he was frightening me because he was just expecting a body check and going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other games,
The referee would just say, play on.
play on. You can't expect that. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Yeah,
just
when he's being pressed,
yeah,
when he's being pressed by teams that are, you know, not like against Liverpool and your Man City, they won't press you as much as because they know they can go toe to toe with you.
yeah.
But the teams that are supposedly lesser, they will press you and harass
Sheffield
you,
United's,
and he can't escape a press. He always, like you say, he always looks to go down. He waits
body
for
check.
contact,
Yeah.
and goes down, and that's going to catch him out
Yeah.
at some point during the season.
But for me, it was just the whole midfield was just giving the ball away.
Tobias looked short, man.
Yeah,
He
but,
looked games short. Wasn't Willian the Conqueror this week?
Yeah,
No, it's true.
we gave the ball away
A hell of a lot
total
of times. Yeah.
138 times, right?
Exactly.
West Ham gave the ball away 115. Sorry.
Bloody hell.
So that is unbelievable number of times we just.
Do you know
here
what
you
else I thought we missed? Which is where this Hussein Mawar might come in,
Exactly.
is these players that can break tackles and lose their marker, and then somebody else has to step out to
Yeah.
engage them.
Exactly.
Which means that creates space for somebody else. But all we were doing was passing sideways or trying to pass through the lines, and West Ham would just set up to just say, right, we can deal with that. If that's all you've got, we'll send you out wide, or we'll send you down the middle, and you're not going to
Yeah.
commit
Yeah,
our players.
players that play.
Yeah, your
between-
Santi Cazorla type
Yeah,
players who
yeah.
can take people on, take one or two people out of the game
Exactly.
with a run.
A jink.
We haven't got that, or a Nasri.
Yeah. And that's what it was. Once we made our defensive clearances, it was just hit and hope, hooked up into the air. So West Ham were like, okay, we'll take that. You know, because it's not even going over the halfway line. It was like, okay, up in the air, right, back on the attack. And it was just like, this is not how Arsenal have been playing.
And you could see West Ham's style was if they got the ball, get it out wide and get a cross in, because we have players who can head the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that they had that tall guys. It's Suchek
Yeah.
and Antonio.
Bloody hell. On
So-
another day.
Miss Wacko
Exactly.
looked good. Yeah.
You know, so and that guy, the left back, I can't remember his name, the African guy who was causing us all kinds of
Miss Waku.
something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
don't know his name.
He was causing us all kinds of
Yeah.
problems. Yeah, we had a real off day yesterday.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's what I
Arsenal's-
would like to call it, an off day. Because
Yeah.
even Arteta said, you know, it's the worst
Mm-hmm.
he's seen us play
Yeah.
since he's been in charge. So it was an off day. So come Liverpool,
I think. It'll be
I
a
don't
different
think
game.
you'll see that
I
performance.
think a different game.
Well,
I think
boy.
they'll be up for it.
I hope so, because
But one trait from this Arsenal team under Arteta is that even though we face difficulties,
we still didn't
we
give up.
find a way to negotiate and win a game.
Yeah.
yeah, all it took was that one piece of quality
Yeah, up
from,
great
or two
football.
bits of quality.
Yeah.
Because how many in the first half we had one shot,
Mm.
Yeah.
That's bad for a team being at home. That's championship levels.
Yeah.
You know, that's awful.
I think it's partly down to arrogance.
Yeah, I think if you look at key passes, it's just 3 from Aubameyang, 1 each, Saka, Ceballos, and the other one was Willian. That's the only creativity in the whole game. So, but yeah.
So let's talk about Mr. Leno
Should we get into him?
and his goalkeeping frailties.
Yep.
We all know he's a great shot stopper.
Yeah, let's bring the superlatives out. What he's good at.
Yep.
Because we don't want to knock him over the head.
Great shot stopping, great passing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's great at passing. He's
He's
good
a
at
good
passing.
sweeper keeper.
Mm-hmm.
But your bread and butter is that in this kind of physical match where you're facing someone like Antonio, who's good in the air, and a team that is their whole game plan is just pepper your box, right? You need a keeper who will come and claim and comfortably
Martinez.
claim the ball.
Emmy.
Right? That breeds confidence to your back four, back three, right? And unfortunately, to the big German, our big BFG, he wasn't doing that.
You mean mid-sized German?
He wasn't doing that.
Because I couldn't see him when the ball was coming in. I couldn't see him.
I've seen
He was surrounded by giants.
Yeah,
He looked like he was in the land of
I've
Lilliput.
seen smaller keepers look more confident.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's just you either have it or you don't. And that's the worry that he's 27. Can you bring that into your game now?
Well, I saw some comments this morning on Twitter about, because I made a comment last night just saying that Leno, that's an aspect of Leno's game that needs to improve. The defence seemed more assured. Yes, it was a shorter period of time under Emi Martinez, but the defence seemed more assured with him behind them when it came to coming out and catching those balls.
Yes, man.
And people have not directed at me, but I think there was a general feeling across the Arsenal Twitter sphere that Leno wasn't particularly great at crosses last night.
No, it wasn't.
And then these certain other groups of fans were taking it as criticism. And for me, it wasn't criticism. It's just you could see that him coming for crosses is not a strong point of his.
Yep,
of course.
And I was trying to remember back to last season, and that jitteriness in the defence was there before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that translates. If your defence is if they're not confident in you coming out and collecting the ball, they're going to start going for balls that they don't really need to go for, which happened with. What was he doing when he came out and he fell over? Was it Ceballos?
Ceballos, yeah.
Why was he trying to catch that?
Yeah, he was trying to catch the ball, fumbled it.
Yeah.
And
Punch
that could have easily been a goal.
Well, was that Gabriel?
It was
who
Gabriel's.
was on the line, who was in the right place at the right time? Because all Antonio had to do was turn around and sweep it in.
Sweep it in, yeah.
This is an aspect of his game that if we've noticed it, and we've seen that he's weak on crosses.
Yeah.
Other teams have noticed
teams
it.
will, yeah.
And that's something they're going to identify and they're going to target every time we play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which then, like we said earlier, we had the discussion about Runarsson and David Raya.
Yep.
We were wondering what the point of Arsenal getting these 2 extra goalkeepers in. And maybe Arteta might be looking at Raya becoming the number 1 because they're all of a similar sort of age, aren't they? They're all around that mid-20s.
Yep.
So it could be that Raya comes in this season as an understudy, but with a long-term view to take the number 1 spot because apparently the Raya he hasn't got very many flaws in his game.
That doesn't make sense though, Gab, because if you have those doubts and you have already a good keeper in your roster in Martinez, who is playing well, who's catching balls, who's good who's can pass, why would you get rid of him and then look for another
for
keeper?
the money? Because we're a club that needs money, aren't we?
And
that's the worry thing.
We can't say get rid of him and it's down to the player as well. You know, it was the player's choice as well.
He's saying that he's been told that he's not going to be number one. So
Listen,
that's why,
if
he doesn't want, he wants to play for Argentina. So from his point of view, he was thinking that, you know, I can't spend a whole year on the bench. I need to actually play. So, and I can see his point.
well then, if he's going to go, but the other side of that is, doesn't make any sense to have.
I think this Raya is going to be number 2.
We'll have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see, but if Leno's going to be our number 1 with his handling at crosses like that, then we're going to concede a lot of goals.
Yeah,
and Arteta doesn't strike me as the kind of manager who's going to allow simple things that can be addressed to continue. Yeah. So either Leno is going to have to improve, or he's going to get shipped out.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Leno, Raya hasn't come here to be number 2.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, you're challenging. You want to challenge for that number 1 spot.
So I think there's a game of chess going on here somewhere that maybe we can't see, but that aspect of Leno's game needs to improve drastically, because if we've noticed it, other teams have noticed it, and that's something they're going to be pumping balls into the box.
100%.
And could I just point out his distribution? As much as you say that he's a good sweeper keeper, he tends to hold on to the ball too long for me.
Yep.
And he's going to get caught out.
Yeah.
Because there were certain, passes that were just bread and butter. And Emmy is very clever, because he'll just, under pressure, but pass it.
Very comfortable, yeah.
Pass it in time.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to just hit this long. Leno, he's pausing.
Yeah, he's determined to actually play that short.
I don't mind you doing that, but it's the delay on the pass that bothers me, that worries me, that concerns me from Leno. So the points that you two brought up, 100% agree.
Yeah, he does take just that split second too long, and that split second too long with those Premiership players who cover 2 or 3 meters per second, 2 meters per second.
Yeah, Premiership players are fast.
Yeah, by the time you've you've brought your foot back,
they're on you
to kick it. That's 2-3 steps.
That's it. So you've got to make your decisions quick.
So we struggled with the aerial threat, right?
Yeah. I thought Gabriel was okay. I thought he was
more than okay. He was
other than the 2.
He's the one player that was prepared to put his body on the line.
He made some great blocks.
I think the most.
Sorry to cut you. I just felt, just quickly, I still felt that we needed a David Luiz in there, just to calm things. We just looked a bit. That there was no
a little bit more reassurance on the ball.
leader.
Yeah, the passing was just shocking.
Is that Rob Holding?
Rob Holding, you can see why he was getting loaned out.
Absolutely. Rob Holding.
He's a liability.
I don't know if he's a liability, but he's just not.
Am I being too strong saying that?
He's not liability.
He's not liability. This is not his level.
Average.
Yeah.
He's average.
He's not average. He's better than average, but Arsenal's not his level. For me, he is
in a Champions League game.
He's a rung below.
Yeah.
Nah.
He was at Bolton. He was at Bolton. We bought from Bolton, didn't we?
Yeah.
So what was he doing at Bolton that made us buy him?
Well,
I know he was young, but
but what's his name from Liverpool? Came from Hull, and look how he's turned out. So we can't really attack. Teams. You can find
enough.
gems. What's his name?
Robertson.
Yeah.
Robertson. Yeah.
So we can't attack the clubs that they come from, because you can, you can find gems.
Yeah, we got Tierney from, Celtic.
But but he does.
Bolton, Celtic.
We love Celtic. We love
Bolton.
Yeah.
He does.
So
he does seem like a rung below. He just is passing. There was a point in the game where the ball was going out. He was in a foot race with somebody. He got there first, and I thought, okay, you're gonna knock it back down the line, but he just knocked it back into the middle of
Yeah.
back to a West Ham player.
I saw that.
He was rattled, from the
I
first minute.
saw that.
Yeah.
Antonio knew that his pace, because I remember
there was one bit where he just it wasn't even pace. He just barged him and just like a steamroller.
Yeah, but did he try
Bellerin
to Gabriel?
steamrolled him.
Bellerin did the same thing where he just ran into the back of him. Bellerin looked like a little child.
The two
next to...
fullbacks haven't helped our keeper.
But
we
did Gabriel have problems with him? He bowled over Antonio several times.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he went over to Holding.
Yeah, and Bellerin.
Yeah, you just look for the weakest link. Right,
Yeah.
and our weak area was the fullbacks. Right,
Kolasinac.
letting balls in.
Letting balls in and not being
Kolasinac, you can actually go against the man and make sure that he doesn't cross the ball. That can be done.
Hell no, that's too easy.
It's strange. Why didn't he play Ainsley Maitland-Niles?
Because he's resting him for the Liverpool game.
He's resting him for the Liverpool game.
Sorry, not the
Leicester.
Liverpool game. Leicester.
So
he's
Why
trying
not
to
play
rotate.
Kolasinac in the Leicester game? Because I'm sure Leicester are not coming with their first team.
Because maybe he wants that trophy.
No.
Like Mourinho did,
I'll
like Pep
sidestep
did.
that one.
He's got his first trophy.
No, he won. Listen, like Pep.
Yeah, that was
wanted every trophy.
Well, maybe, but
Mourinho, when he came in, he wanted every trophy. Right? Maybe Arteta's thinking, listen, that's not a trophy that I can, turn my nose at. I want to win that trophy.
Maybe,
Right?
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Amian is tired. I don't know. Fatigue.
Who?
Could be.
Like you were
Who's
saying
tired?
that. Maitland.
Maitland-Niles.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So because the games now are coming thick and fast, so
Yeah, he's got to rotate, but hopefully he's not rotating every game.
yeah.
And hopefully Kolasinac will never put on an Arsenal shirt
Yeah,
again.
hopefully Kolasinac is getting rotated out of the team,
Exactly.
never
Yeah.
to be seen again. So what about who was there? Bellerin. How did Bellerin do for you guys?
Actually, I thought Bellerin had a steady game. For me, I thought his passing was all right. I didn't think he did much wrong
Bellerin,
defensively.
well, the
What's
only
what's
thing-
his heat map like?
The heat
His
map
map has not been turned on.
His
Bellerin weren't
heat
that
map was
bad.
okay, but
He needs to call in the plumber to fix that heat map.
so
Bellerin weren't that bad.
okay, accurate passes 79%.
Yeah.
Those stats don't mean anything. Like we said before, because
Crosses.
most of his passes are like
Crosses
2
was
feet.
nil poor, innit?
3 crosses, one accurate.
Yeah,
I
his
don't-
crossing was
I
a
don't-
bit
I
poor.
don't remember that one.
But his crossing's always poor.
Yeah.
So lost possession 12 times. So
Ooh.
Yeah, but this is Bellerin. This is Bellerin's game. This is
Yeah.
Bellerin in a nutshell. One or two good games, 4 or 5 bad games, or 4 or 5 below par
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, below par.
When what we want is 7 out of
Gary
10
Neville.
every game. It's Gary Neville, Lee Dixon,
yeah,
Lauren. 7 out of 10 every game.
Yeah.
Sanya levels.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bellerin isn't that.
Yeah.
he's one of his grand jewels. 1 out of 5.
Oh dear.
So and
Is it too late just to, take those words back what I
yeah,
said?
I'm thinking, I'm watching that game and I'm thinking PSG are not gonna like that game.
Good. Don't let them see that game.
Exactly. Sell, man.
Edit it. Do we know any great editors? Can we get a screenshot from FIFA or a screen grab from FIFA
Yeah.
and send them that and say, look, this is Bellerin at his best.
Yeah.
Because yesterday for me he had a difficult game up against a robust forward
Yeah.
who was enjoying himself.
I think Maitland-Niles would have dealt with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Which,
Maitland-Niles.
will
So
come.
our midfield, I think our midfield was lackluster.
Yeah.
Ceballos and Xhaka, we've touched on Xhaka, but Ceballos, I think he needs to catch up. I think he needs games under his belt because he just looked slow in decision making, slow, coming back, running forwards.
Yeah, his through balls weren't as great yesterday, but
No.
maybe that was down to West Ham not pressing.
Yeah.
West Ham were quite happy to sit back. It reminded me very much of the Wenger era where teams would just come and
The Emirates plan.
sit back and
Yeah,
wait
that
for
low block. Yeah.
What I've
you
spoke of.
you come and break us down.
Yeah, what I spoke of in the last show, in the last episode, I said it was like the Emirates plan, where you sit and what we'll do, we'll break and we'll let that Antonio do
And
the
again,
damage.
another thing. Why don't we take shots from long distance?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take shots from long distance. Get them on target. Force the keeper to. It's Fabianski.
Yeah.
Fabianski might play a blinder, but Fabianski's gonna spill one or two of them. This was Frank Lampard's forte. Take a shot. Take a shot. Get it on target. Something might happen, but
And
no,
then
we want to keep trying to prod and probe, and getting blocked off. But you're in front of the goal. Take a shot. It might go in.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's on target, anything can happen. And then, if the keeper does spill it, Lacazette can
Pounce on it. Yeah, but we don't take those chances, do we? Everything has to be, the goal has to be pretty.
But this is why Xhaka, how many goals did Xhaka score last season? 1, 2,
One.
3?
No, that's.
Take some shots.
Yeah.
Ceballos.
I think it's the whole.
Put
team.
some lead in
I
your
think,
boots.
I think it's the whole team, Gab. I think it's the whole team. I think I saw a stat where since Arteta came, we're 15th.
Yeah,
when
us
it comes
shooting from
shots,
outside the box
shots
is
on
poor.
goal. No, like that. That's shots from the whole team, Gab. We're 15th in between Crystal Palace and Burnley.
Yeah.
So, that just screams to me lack of creativity. There's no
lack of
creativity.
creativity.
What about to just step forward a little bit, and Lacazette yesterday,
Yeah.
he does a lot of hard work. I'm not going to dispute he gets through a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
but he is not suited to that role of playing with his back to goal. Whenever that ball comes to him, the defender's always on him. He struggles sometimes to get the ball under control and lay it off.
Yeah.
It's not his strength.
Yeah, it's not his forte, is it?
Yeah.
If we're going to play that way, then we need somebody who's good at it,
Yeah.
because the ball
Doesn't necessarily
doesn't stick. Exactly, that's the words I was struggling to find. The ball doesn't stick with him sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We may be lucky and get a foul, but then what happens from that is the opposition get into position, and
Yeah.
we're not scoring from free kicks.
And also, we were exposed on a counter because that just screams out there's lack of pace in that centre of the park,
Yeah, but we know that.
right? So,
We know
Partey.
Xhaka
Yeah.
and Ceballos are
Ceballos
both
are not
pulling
exactly,
trailers behind him.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Partey.
Partey would.
Oh, is
would be-
Partey quick?
He's very quick.
Do you think El Neni would have made a difference in that game yesterday?
I think he would have struggled as well. I think maybe defensively we would be less exposed, because I really like the calm way that he goes about his way to close people down. And one of the features against the Charity Shield was how quickly he was pressing and closing people down. And when he had the ball, he wasn't giving it away.
Yeah.
Right? So he was... but again, the fact that you got him on the bench and hoping that he could change the game, that just,
that's not gonna
illustrates that you are really sure, because Guendouzi is exiled.
And Guendouzi wouldn't have changed anything anyway.
No, he
Torreira.
wouldn't have.
Yeah, Torreira's
Torreira wouldn't have changed anything.
Torreira's...
Ozil?
No, but he's on his... we trying to sell the guy,
Yeah,
right?
but it's just
We're saying if Torreira was playing in that game,
Yeah.
what difference?
no,
and
again,
what change
he's
would he-
poor on the ball.
Yeah.
That game, he would do exactly the same thing. He would just run around, make
and
few
pass it.
tackles,
He'd have just
and
passed
he
it.
would just give the ball to the opposition.
So what's boiling down to? We lack creativity.
Yeah, and we're not trying to knock our two players in midfield.
No, because they've
but
been excellent.
They've been excellent
In previous
but in
games.
these kind of games, with games coming in thick and fast, you need options.
You need
and
players
we
who
don't
can
have
run
that.
with the ball.
Yeah.
Players who can take players on,
So
a la Hazard. And once
De
you take a
Bruyne.
player out the
Yeah.
game, that
Gundogan.
It makes the opposition move because
David
somebody's got
Silva.
to come and engage you,
Yeah.
which means that creates space. But
That one
just
through
passing,
ball, that Saka ball was the only through ball that we played in the whole game. That's
Yeah.
just shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Right, in the whole game with so many talented
yeah,
William
but we
there.
tried these through balls. They just kept, like you said, we couldn't get past their low block,
Absolutely.
and we struggle against
Right.
teams who do the low block.
And you have 63% of possession and you just get 7 shots on goal. That's just
But West Ham,
that's awful.
just like Aston Villa last season, just sat back and allowed us to have that.
But look at the forward. Their forwards are not really that good,
Who?
right? And they had 15 shots.
Who?
Hammers.
Yeah, but that just goes to show a team that does have good forwards
Yeah.
and does play that system
Yeah.
against us, we need to be wary,
Absolutely.
you know? So I don't say,
Aubameyang. Sorry to cut you. Carry on, Lee. Go make your point. Make your point.
no, I was just saying I'm not putting it down to a tactical masterclass from Moyes.
Yeah.
I feel that it was just our
It
own
was a
sloppy
well-drilled
work.
But
West Ham
Arteta
team.
did say this, didn't he? He said, these problems of our own making. We made life difficult for ourselves.
And just to quickly point on Arteta, that's why I like this guy. Because
Absolutely.
he's so honest.
Yes.
I don't like
Yep.
when managers, can't... They know the truth, but they don't say it. They don't tell the truth.
Yeah. We have
And
to.
with Arteta, he says what the Arsenal fan base were thinking about that game.
Absolutely.
And about
And
games
he was
where we
delighted
performed.
with that.
Yeah.
It's a hard
with that
fought
late
win
win.
because,
because he like that game. He recognized that game we would not have won 6 months ago.
Precisely. I
Right.
think Ian Wright pointed that out
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, because
Or
that's
Jermaine Genus.
again that's the art of war. Sun Tzu, right? You're not playing well. You're not at your best, but find a way to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
It sounds like he's going to get them in this week and take them back to the drawing board
Yeah.
and make them look at this game
absolutely
and see where they went wrong collectively.
100%. That's
Sorry,
2
Gabe.
goals. Yeah.
Aubameyang, you were saying.
yeah, what did you think of Aubameyang's performance?
Very good, because I thought he was the one outlet that we had.
With a few, if that was Fabregas passing instead of
Exactly,
Xhaka,
he would have
been in.
He would have been
Because
in.
some
yeah.
of Xhaka's balls into space
Some of the
were so
runs-
overhit.
Some of the runs he was making, and
Yeah, the run off the ball
I
runs
saw
were
that
fantastic.
on Match of the Day because I was just watching him just making those runs, and some of the runs were so good. Like he just keeps it
Yeah, he's
doing
a
it
man
and
at
doing
the
it
top
and
of
doing
his
it.
game.
He reminded me of the original Ronaldo,
The real Ronaldo.
the
you mean?
real Ronaldo,
When,
best one.
When you say, yeah, we know you're
right?
talking about.
El Phenomenon, yeah.
R9,
Yeah?
we know we know what you're talking about.
He would make 6 of those runs while his team got the ball, right? And one of them will be made,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
Yeah, we need
great runs, and that side. I think what impressed me was the way that we recognized that side was the weakest link of that team, and throughout the second half, we slowly came into the game. The last 20 minutes,
That's down to Arteta, that is.
Arteta, and
But is
he
that
said
down-
that
is
after
that
the
us
game.
recognizing that that's the weakest part of their team, or that's the strongest part of our team? Because you couldn't have been
think-
making those passes on the other side of the pitch. That's the
Yeah.
only side of the pitch you could make those passes.
I think he told. I think after
Arteta.
the game, he said, "I asked Ceballos to make those inside runs to create situations."
Is that what Arteta said?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he told Saka, "Listen, he will come through. Make sure you find him."
Yeah.
Right?
Are you talking about Saka or Aubameyang? Because that side of the pitch for
The left-hand
Aubameyang,
side.
I'm
is so
talking
good
about
to
just
talk
that side generally, because what they did was
West
they
Ham.
looked out for Uber.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They've looked out for him, and they said, "Oh, let's get that guy."
Yeah, because they've
Right?
seen what we've done in previous games.
This is where you play the checkmate, Ceballos came through, and he was unmarked.
Yeah, because you're right there.
Yeah.
Because in previous games, we've used that left-hand side, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Because of
Yes.
Aubameyang, and
Yeah.
teams have been caught cold.
Absolutely.
So then what Aubameyang done, which was good, was made decoy and dummy runs.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we tried a ball over the top to Aubameyang, 3 West Ham players were there in place and the ball went out of play because they knew, right.
Yeah.
But then what we done was very clever. Come inside a bit.
There was an ESPN journalist who was saying that Arteta, the whole second half, he was just screaming, "Cola, cola, cola."
Yeah, you could hear him.
Yeah. He was screaming, "Cola, cola," because he was telling him, "Go forward, attack."
Yeah.
Move your fat ass.
Yeah.
Right? And he didn't get a response, so he said, "Habayos, can you please just do what I'm trying to get this guy to actually do?"
Yeah. But he was looking out for Ozil, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said he liked, you know what?
The bodyguard was looking out for Ozil.
After the game, he kind of threw an olive branch for Ozil, and he said he was training well, and he liked what he saw. So I don't know if that means.
When did he say that?
After the game at the press conference.
That's just look at this hand, look at this hand, look at this hand.
Yeah.
Look at this hand. Yeah, right. That's what he's saying to the press.
Yeah, he's not going to come out and say, "Listen, I'm trying to shift him."
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have no plans for
But,
Mesut.
but based on, play Mesut Ozil against Leicester. Let him show his worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but that's where Ozil is. That's where Ozil is at now.
Do you know?
Play against Leicester, show your worth. We'll get us through that tie.
Yeah.
Get another tie in the Carabao Cup. Show your worth and work your way back into the team because he's not coming straight back into the Premier
League.
League.
Realise what Leicester will do to Ozil.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game.
Wow.
It's not,
like you said, I agree
with
what you said.
Yeah.
But Leicester are going to crucify Ozil.
Yeah.
Well, then, if he can't cut it in the Carabao Cup,
that team, man.
Well, Leicester will make changes. So if Ozil can't cut it up against Leicester's B team, then he's got no business in Arsenal's A team.
Woo!
That's how much his stock has fallen.
Oh man, drastically.
Of recent times. You can sit and talk about Gunners, but
yeah,
your
you
performance
love life in London. We get it. But Willian, the Conqueror, lackluster for me. For you,
he didn't have a good game. No.
No, he didn't. I think he was trying too hard.
I think
he's trying to spark something off.
Yeah, he was trying. Like, he didn't hide. Like, he was trying to get involved. He was trying to make those passes. But it's just like the whole team, they just had an off day. Yeah. And I think it's... I wouldn't dig him out. Because,
digging him out.
Because there are players... That's one of the criticism with Ozil. In that sort of game, when he's not having a good game, he kind of hides. And you're saying, where is he, right? I didn't feel that with this guy.
Let's get it right. No one hit in that game.
No one hit, yeah. We were just
no one hit.
Shit, yeah.
We were just off.
Yeah. Off day at the races.
So, player ratings?
Yeah, let's get started.
So.
It's going to be interesting.
This is going to be hella interesting. Well, I'm going to be Darth Maul today.
Yeah.
Count Dooku and Lord Vader.
Mm-hmm.
The Empire strikes back. So, who are we starting with? Leno in goal, right?
Keeper.
So, who's starting?
You go, Jamal. I started last week.
Leno. Our German number 1. He had a poor game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
He didn't inspire confidence in me. Forget about the back 3.
The whole fan base, Arsenal fan base, personally.
It's and the interesting thing is 0 high claim.
Was that he claimed zero high
balls? Yes, 0 high balls, right? So he couldn't catch
he had
a single one.
To catch.
So he had so many attempts.
So what are you giving him?
He tried and
I'm
tried.
I'm giving him a generous 4.
Okay, that's a Count Dooku 4. All right,
right.
Even though we won.
And I think that's a little bit harsh. I think I would give him a 5 for that save on the line. which he didn't know much about. But yeah, a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Lord Vader?
I'm going to give him a middle of the road 5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was below the expectations that we expect.
Yep.
His crossing was poor.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said earlier, he dilly-dallied on the ball, sometimes a bit too long.
Yeah.
Caused a bit of panic in the back. I'm
Yeah.
going to give him a middle of the road 5.
Okay. I think it's a clean sweep here.
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
give him a 5.
Yep.
Spoke about distribution. He made me nervous
Yep.
during the game. His catching, same thing,
Yep.
made me nervous. Total difference from last week to this week, where I didn't feel nervous. I thought he played well last week.
He had nothing to do
comparison-
last week.
in comparison to this week. So I'm giving him a 5. So next,
Let's go Bellerin.
you want me to start with Bellerin?
Yeah, start with Bellerin, your favourite guy.
No, he's not my favourite guy because I still want the club to sell him. So he's by no way my favourite guy. I'm just trying not to be, harsh.
Yeah.
But since I'm in Darth Maul mode,
Yeah.
I will give Bellerin a 6 because, like I said, I didn't think he played that bad. His heat map suggests that he played all right. So yeah, his passing, middle of the pitch, was all right to me, 79%, as you said.
Yeah.
But his crossing is shocking. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah, his performance, like his dress sense, is a mixed bag.
Ooh.
Zoolander.
Yeah, PSG, please hide that tape. Someone, I don't know, send them the Fulham tape or something. Not involved enough going forward, and defensively vulnerable. So, what are you? And that's the problem with him, is that when the pressure's on, he's found wanting.
Absolutely.
Right? And, that's your bread and butter games. That's the games that you have to show 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right? Tierney yesterday would have shown 7 out of 10, and we would not look vulnerable, right? So, 4. Giving him a 4. It's just not good.
Count Dooku,
Jamal.
boy.
Yeah, not
Wow. And we won the game. Jeez.
I was expecting a 5 because I was going to say,
No.
I'm agreeing with Jamal. I'm going to give him a 5. I already had my speech prepared.
I'm looking for things to give him. I can't see it.
Wow. Count Dooku. Lord Vader.
I was going to give him a 5. But all those points Jamal pointed out, going forward, he's not much of a threat. He can't cross. The passing stats really don't mean anything because these are just a lot of these are short passes. And if as a footballer you can't execute a short pass, you've no business being there.
Yeah.
So these stats don't mean.
Yeah, he was trying to cruise the game when the heat was on.
Yeah, and he came up against a very physical player.
Oh, Miss
And,
Swaku, he's
And a player who
how old is
made him look very average and was breezing past him.
Yeah.
So I was going to give him 5, but when I actually think back, and you've reminded me of a few instances, I'm struggling to say 4. I want to give him 4.5, but he was pretty poor. So I'm going to join Jamal. As much as I was laughing, I'm going to give him a 4. Highly unimpressed. Like you say, these are the games where they're going to be tough.
Yeah.
But these are the games you play for Arsenal. These are the games you should be pulling out a 7 out of 10 performance.
Yeah. I think we expected more from the team, and they just.
Yeah, we're not expecting you to be great every game.
Yeah.
Lauren wasn't great. Gary Neville wasn't great. They had games where they weren't at the races, but they
pull it out.
were.
They
They were
something.
steady. Eddies.
They showed something.
7, 7, 7, 7, 7.
Because
And
in
then they
that
pulled
position,
8s and 9s in there. When it was needed.
One cross made.
because
Zero
in that
chances.
position, you look at Trent. you look at Walker,
Yeah.
and they're consistent, week in, week out.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Next, who's next?
Rob Holding. Rob
Holding. Yeah, I like that.
Rob
Holding.
Holding. He was dribbling like a pro last week.
Yeah, he was Robinho.
Yep.
Rob Bino last
Van
week,
Basten,
and then he's now
calling
Hob.
him.
Yeah, with
Hob
the
Holding.
hobnail boots on.
Yeah,
Hob
they were calling
running
him.
in treacle last night.
Yeah.
So Hob Holding, he gets a 6 for me. He didn't do anything that bad.
Yeah.
But Antonio is going to trouble defenders up and down the land. So he didn't do too badly for me. Distribution fell a bit short.
Yeah.
But no, it's a 6 performance for me. Next,
Yeah.
Jamal.
I think I would agree with you. I think he deserves a 6. It was
Hob
just
Holding.
Hob Holding, right? I think it says here that he's made the most tackles in the match, which was 2, which is not.
Huh?
It's not great.
What?
2
What you
tackles.
talking about, Willis?
He made
2
the
tackles.
most. He made 2 tackles,
Yeah.
and they were the most in the game
In the yeah.
from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay, where was that from?
That's from
Stats are us.
Opta Stats.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
And you're giving him a 6.
he found what's his name? Very hard. Antonio, who turned into the next coming of Didier Drogba.
No, but Antonio gives defenders up and down the land
Yeah,
problems.
Yes,
Week in and week out.
He is a very good player. He's
He's full of
good player.
running.
And
He's
it's-
robust. So he gives a lot of defenders problems.
100%.
It's just that his
so I'll give him a
finishing.
6. I'll give him a 6, but he's not Arsenal quality.
His finishing is a bit
Yeah,
mediocre.
yeah. That goal wasn't entirely his fault, but he was pointing.
He was pointing at
noticed
somebody.
He was it Shaka or
Yeah,
someone?
he
He
was
was
a step.
pointing, and while he was pointing, he lost focus.
Yeah, that step.
And
He
that-
lost a step.
That 100%, right?
He was a step
So-
behind.
While forget about, just worry
your
about
job.
your job.
Yeah, do your job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should give him a 5 for that.
I'm giving him a 5. You stick with 6.
All right, fair enough.
Do you want to give him a 5?
I'll give him a 6 just before
You give him a
just for that dribble last week. I'll give you a 6.
Okay.
That was in.
Man,
That
you're
was
in some fine
Yeah.
mood today, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give Rob Holding a 5. I thought just average. Again, these are the fine margins in the Premiership. He lost focus for a split second, was pointing at somebody else to do their job. And then, that was the goal. So you can make mistakes in football,
100%.
but the closer you get to the goal, the less mistakes you need to make.
Absolutely.
And those are going to be the fine margins that Arsenal are going to need to eradicate from their game if we're going to want to move up the table.
Yeah.
If we keep making these mistakes, we're going to keep making
We'll be
problems
outside the
for
top
ourselves.
4. Yeah.
So for me, Rob Holding
Hob Holding.
Hob Holding, yep.
gets a 5.
Right. So who's next?
Gabriel.
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. With Gabriel, I'll give him a 7. I thought he wasn't as good as he was last week.
Yep.
But he beat off the challenge of Kamara last week, and this week he shifted Antonio. Antonio thought, yeah, okay, I'll do my, my best,
Yeah.
and really give you a nightmare. But
I'll introduce you to the Premiership.
yeah, I'll
Samba
introduce
boy.
you. Yeah, but nah. Gabriel was brilliant. That block, instinctive block, when Leno spilt the shot, and I thought it was faultless, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give him a 7, 7.5, 7.5. Sorry, Gabes, to tamper with your scoring.
Scoremaster.
Yeah, so yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, I would give him a solid 8 because he's solid, and me and Gab we really liked his blocking, and I've looked at it that he's made the most blocks in the whole game, which was really impressive when you realised West Ham had 9 men behind the ball half the time. So he got in a lot of blocks in.
Yeah.
And he's the one player that wasn't giving the ball away like Nike shoes, you know. So yeah, I would give him a solid 8. Yeah, he wasn't as impressive as the Fulham game.
Naturally, yeah.
But you can't. And that I thought for 1 second he will score an own goal, but
Leno got there.
Yeah. So
What was the incident?
that was the incident when yet again we allowed a cross to come in, and I think Antonio was about to head it, but Gabriel done enough to just put him off.
Yeah, I remember.
And kindly the ball dropped to Leno rather than in the back of the net.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
I
is
remember.
yeah.
That would have been a good one. You score on your debut,
Yeah, and
then
then
you score an own goal in your second game. It'd be like,
Yeah.
wow.
On your home debut.
Yeah.
On your home debut.
Yeah, just imagine if we had Mustafi instead of Gabriel,
Yeah.
right? That's the margins there. So
Yeah.
come for him 8, and yeah, he's my man of the match also. So
Yeah, I'm going to give Gabriel 8.5. I thought he was a bit shaky at the beginning. Lucky to get away with 2 penalty calls, because I'm sure if that was Manchester United or Liverpool, the first one would have probably been given, even though it wasn't a foul.
yeah, and it's not a penalty.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty, but in those big games, he didn't do anything wrong, but he's just got to be careful. You could see as soon as that player felt
Contact.
he just threw himself down.
Over. Ashley Young style.
Yeah,
He'd been shot by the sniper from a distance of 1,000
mate.
yards. But that's something he's got to be very careful of. The header, the misjudged header, I thought he was lucky to get away with.
Yeah.
Another era, maybe that would have been a stonewall penalty.
Yeah.
Aside from those 2 issues, I thought he was solid. Dealt with the threat of Antonio. His positioning for the blocks, I read something maybe about a week or 2 before he signed for us.
Yeah.
And somebody said he has this knack. Somebody was talking about his style of play in French football. And they were saying that he has a knack of being in the right place at the right time, and especially covering his goalkeeper.
music to my ears.
And I didn't
all
say anything
Arsenal
at the
fan
time.
is.
I thought, we will see. But yesterday,
Hence
he was
the bl- yeah.
he has this. He was behind the keeper. He just seems to read or sense danger. So we'll see how that progresses for the rest of the season. John Terry also used to have that. The keeper would come out, and John Terry would be behind the goalkeeper.
Cahill as well. Gary Cahill.
And that's a great attribute to have.
Yeah.
Mertesacker,
Yes. So
Yeah.
although he was
Yeah. I've got to
we'll
give
see
it.
how it continues. for
Carragher as well.
the rest of the season, but maybe that might be something we can keep an eye out if he's, if Leno continues to have these nightmare scenarios. Gabriel is going to have his spider senses switched on.
Yeah.
So
Can I
I'd
just
give him
bring up a
8.5.
point? Can I bring up a point?
100%.
Because you mentioned, the handball from Gabriel. I've got to say, man, that Lindelof decision was disgusting.
Absolutely.
Because if that was Arsenal, I would be livid.
Yeah.
I think the whole rigmarole around that penalty was disgusting.
Yep.
Man United were up the field, and they brought it back.
Yeah.
They brought it back. They VAR checked it.
That's the new rules now, and
That's disgusting. That's taking the pee.
do you know what? I have no sympathy for Manchester United.
Fair enough.
Because they've had countless of those.
No, that's Spurs. Spurs are VAR United.
Not the outside the VAR. We've because I remember years ago it was like it was 1-1 Old Trafford.
Fergie time.
Yeah, and I think Caleb was running the game, and I have no idea how we didn't win that game. And then what happened last minute? The ball was flicked on Gallas's hand. There was like penalty goal.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
remember that.
But this one
Yeah.
was terrible
100%.
because Lindelof didn't go put his hand out, you know.
Yeah.
It was like the shot came in. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
I thought that was a disgusting decision.
What's even worse was that the retake of the actual penalty.
Oh my
It-
God.
Like,
That was
I think
disgusting as well.
The Gabe was like, was it half an inch off his line? It was
So
like,
what's he supposed to do? Just stand there?
just be glued to that line.
No, if you take you start from behind your goal line. Clearly, you start at the back of the net.
Ospina style, yeah, he was always behind the line.
You start from behind the goal line. You've known what the rules are for how long.
Absolutely.
Find a way of addressing it. You don't wait until your second game of the season to complain.
Man.
They've told you for the longest time, this is the rules for penalty taking. Find a way to address it.
That
Because
is
you know
harsh.
you're going to have to you're going to have to deal with it at some point of the season. Having said that, they were out of order. They were out of order, and I hope Arsenal have plans in place.
It had no
I'll be
impact on the
pissed.
game. Palace were creating chances. They should
No,
have had
we know that.
4, 5, 6.
We know that, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
shoe on the other foot. If that happened to Arsenal,
on field.
I would.
But it has happened to
not,
us.
Yeah.
not be happy.
Yeah, it happened to us countless of times.
That's why I'm
Sorry
actually
to go.
keeping still.
There would probably be
Sorry to go
one
to
at
the theatre
Anfield
of
next
wet
week.
dreams, but
Yeah.
I just thought I had to bring that up because the Gabriel decision
Yeah.
makes you realise we got away.
100%. And that
We got away with it
Head
because
off.
it was VAR checked as well.
header off the bar,
Yeah. So anyway,
So-
sorry. Next.
Who was after? Who was alongside Gabriel? Kolasinac.
Kolasinac.
This is easy.
The opposite of rock solid.
This is easy. But I'm gonna be kind and generous. I'll give him a 3. And nothing after that.
Anything
Next.
you want to add to that? Anything you want to add to that, Lee?
Yeah.
To that 3? Anything else?
I'll give him a 3.
You go
Okay.
3, yeah?
And then I look at you. Look
Okay,
across at you.
I would give him a 3.
Why are you putting
That's a
impediments in your speeches?
That's a generous
Try to
3.
find something
Okay.
for Kolasinac. I said 3.
Okay, 3.
Move on.
3, okay.
Move
3.
on.
3, I'm just hoping that we find him a club ASAP.
Oh, okay.
because-
Yeah.
Or
I
a
understand.
job at a club, outside a club somewhere, so he could fend people
Do
off.
his bouncing
Do his bouncing,
duties, yeah.
his
Yeah.
because he's just not a footballer. Just get him out of the club
Yeah.
and
That's
get
good.
a left back that can
Cover
cover Tierney adequately.
Mm-hmm.
By
I'm going to give him a 1.
Oh,
Because I don't see where you've got-
that goal. Talk us about that goal. He's defending with that goal. Like
I don't see where you guys have come up with 3. I think you're being way too generous with 3.
Look,
There was
Kieran
nothing.
Tierney
which,
pulled up with an injury in training, so he just filled in. So we're giving him
so we're giving him a 3
on appearance
because he was fit enough to fill in for Tierney.
for Tierney.
But that just warrants a 1.
And then another
The
one.
one
it's
is for
like
breathing
fantasy
for
football,
you.
know.
Because he's breathing.
It's like fantasy football, so you get a 1 for showing up and 1 for completing a game.
The whole situation, the whole Kolasinac was summed up at the end of the game
As
when he was free. He was put in. I can't remember who passed the ball to him, but he was put in down the line, and all he had to do was cross it, square it across the box. Somehow my man's managed to put it out for a
conversion.
goal kick. It's like, yeah, Rob Holding had his hobnail boots on. What have you got on? What's your excuse?
I don't know.
I think
Why,
that goal.
everything
that
for
goal,
him is backwards. he seems afraid to move the ball forwards.
He
He seems
does a
afraid
strange
to
hop.
attack.
Yeah,
But when he came, he wasn't like that.
he wasn't like that,
he
was he?
decisive.
What's happened? Why has he regressed so much?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's the comfort of London, big wage. He's made it.
Made it.
He's made it in his eyes.
Well, he has made it.
He's
He has
made it.
made
You
it.
know, he's getting paid. What is 157,000 a week?
I'm thinking honours, accolades. That's what I'm thinking about when you say you've made it.
He's not like
Some players are different. Some players look at it like, I've come from nothing. I'm super wealthy now. I'm never going to... He's won 2 FA Cups.
Yeah. That goal does not happen if Tierney is there, because he would meet the guy. Right? He would be decisive. He would meet the guy. He wouldn't just wait and just chaperone the player and then do nothing.
And he used to be fast. There's, again, it's this. Maybe he's getting older and he's getting slower. But
how is he old? He's a young guy.
That guy ran past him like he wasn't there.
He's just how old is he? He's 27. He should be in the prime years.
Well, he looks slow.
He's
I'm giving him a 1.
Maybe he's rusty. Maybe he needs games under his belt.
If he's physically, you look at him physically, you say you should be at home in the Premier League. Why do you look Sunday League?
Ooh, man, you two.
Yeah, I gave him
the Empire Strikes Back.
You know what? I supporting Gab in that. One is what he deserves.
One is adequate.
One, yeah, because.
Man, I'm sticking with 3.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, put me down for 3 as well, just for not getting injured.
Let's move to Ceballos.
Yeah, like I said, with Ceballos, I'm going to give him a 6. I'm going to give him a 6. I just felt he just needs games under his belt. Like I said earlier on in the show, his passing wasn't up to the standard that we're used to. His dribbling, same thing. And yeah, he was just... You know what? What did I say? 6. I'll give him 6.5 because that assist for Eddie...
Yeah.
Giving the keeper the eyes.
Yeah.
Man.
Quality.
Yeah, I've got to give him a 0.5 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kept going, which you should do as a professional. Jamal?
I thought he was, in a bad bunch, our best midfielder. And not because of the goal, because I found out after the game, I think they had a stat on Sky Sports that he's won the most tackles in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's weak.
Yeah, he's weak. Yeah,
we'll get onto that.
We'll get
onto that.
Said that again. I can't remember him. I can't remember.
We'll get onto that soon. Later.
Yeah.
In the show.
So he's tackling. He won the most duels. And he had enough about him later in the game to find the courage and the energy to make that run, because it's not easy. It was a tough game. Just lots of running, and his partner next to him wasn't helping him. And I think it was encouraging that even in a bad game that he had the presence and the mind to make that pass. And by the way, Nketiah, what a poacher.
We'll get to him.
We'll get to him.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, I'll give him 7.5.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Gibbs?
I'm going to give Danny Ceballos, I'm going to give him an 8.
Yeah.
Not because of the game as a whole. I thought he had a slow start, which could be down to rustiness, which, it can happen to anybody. But for me, where he excelled was the last 15 minutes of the game, where his energy levels were good. He was running. He made the run, like you say, to make the pass easier for Saka.
100%.
But for me, what I liked was in the last couple of minutes of the game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where he kicked the ball off the player for a throw-in.
Yes.
And a few seconds earlier, I think it was
Eddie that tried to pass it to Aubameyang.
And it's like, hold the ball in the corner. Run down the clock. Who are you crossing to?
Yeah.
I forgot to say about that last minute block where he cleared and he got the foul.
Yes, he
that
ran
would have
down
been
the
that
ball.
would have been an easy.
Yes, he ran down the clock beautifully for us.
He's got the
this
right
is a
spirit.
side of the game we need to improve on massively.
The action man side of his game is really, he's not weak. He's not weak, Mr. Sherwood.
So he's getting 8 for me.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's next?
Shakalaka.
For someone who we've pointed out to be a mainstay, he had an off game.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I thought he was about a 6.5. No, a 6. Yeah, it was just like nothing was coming off, and I just felt he was half a yard slow,
Yeah.
short, off the pace in yesterday's game. So, yeah, a 6 for me, for Xhaka.
Yeah. I think I'll give him a 6. I think he lacks the ability to sometimes see a pass. It's not just him. I think the whole team has struggled to just find that final pass.
Mm-hmm.
That Ceballos pass was the only one that that midfield actually produced in the whole game, which is not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a 6 also.
I'm going to give him a 5.5. I thought he was marginally above average.
Mm-hmm.
When he's got time on the ball, he can pick out a pass beautifully.
Yeah.
When he's pressed and agitated and harassed, his passing goes awry.
Mm-hmm.
The passes for Aubameyang were literally quite simple. They were balls over the top.
Yep.
But he was hitting them so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why are you not able to find the right weight of pass? These are passes that...
He's made one good pass in the final minutes to Kolasinac, which Kolasinac just wasted.
Yeah, but that doesn't
he needs to
excuse
do
the
more
other
on
80, the other 89 minutes of the game where he had at least 3 or 4 opportunities to find Aubameyang. And if the right weight of pass was there, Aubameyang was in.
But what I liked about him in recent games, I think in the last few months, that he was finding those good diagonal passes.
Yeah, but like I said, he finds them when he's got time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
When he's got time, when he's pressed, like we said earlier, when he's pressed, he wants to fall over.
Big test next week.
So when he's given little time, Fabregas would need one touch and he'd find a pass.
Mm-hmm.
The same was Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
They'd lead very little time to find a beautiful pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, that is, as well as he's done in the last few games where we've highly praised him. Yesterday wasn't one of his better games. Hopefully next week he can improve. Well, he needs to improve. But for this game, he gets a 5.5.
Right. Who's next?
Yeah. Saka.
Saka. I was going to give him a 6.5, but I'll give him a 7. You can clearly see that he just needs to get up to speed, get games under his belt.
Yeah.
He worked tirelessly through the game, but like Gabe's would say, that's just the standard. That's a given. I'm going to give him a 7. Brilliant pass, by the way.
Yeah, I would give him a 6 because his overall game was lacking yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But what I liked about him, there was end product. He was involved in both goals, and that final pass, that just amazing pass to Ceballos.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave the ball away a lot. Lost almost a lot of duels, a lot of one-on-ones. So his overall game wasn't great, but the end product is there, and he had, again, to not be discouraged and produce that moment of quality, which great players do.
Yeah.
Even in a bad game, you find that quality to see that pass, and he's got that, which is encouraging, and he's young. So
yeah.
Like in a bad game, I was impressed.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him 7.5. The 0.5 is for the pass.
Brilliant pass.
Great awareness. I wasn't seeing that. I thought he was getting across the pitch, and for him to see that was
the whole
was
West
fantastic.
Ham defense didn't see it.
I thought he started off poorly. I was, in the heat of the game, I was ultra critical.
100%.
But looking back, I thought he had steady game. Looked a bit rusty.
Yeah.
Which is the physical challenges. That's something he's going to have to, he's going to grow into.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought he's steady. I'm not going to be overcritical of him.
Can you upgrade mine to 7, please? You've made a good case. You've changed
I've
my
made the case, Your Honour.
Yes,
the case
presented it well, and I think I was a little bit harsh with the 6.
Okay, next, Willian.
Yeah, like I said earlier on in the show, wasn't himself. I think he tried a bit too hard in this game. He tried to make things happen, and it just wasn't happening. I'll give him a 6.5, because he never forgot his defensive duties, and that's what I like in players. If you're an offensive player, not forgetting your defensive duties. And like I said, it was the complete opposite to what he produced, his performance that he produced away from home.
Yeah.
All right, so I was expecting a bit more of the same performance as what he did last week. So yeah.
What'd you give him?
Oh, I swear I gave him a 6.5.
Yeah.
Would you give him, Jamal?
Yeah, I think I'll give him a 5 because he wasn't as impactful as the Fulham game, and he probed and he didn't hide. It just wasn't happening for him. Too many bad touches. Just gave the ball away too many times. So which is understandable. Games are becoming thick and fast now. So yeah, I'll give him a 5, but there's more to come from this guy.
Of course.
Yeah,
we know this.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a 6. I thought it was just above average. Worked hard, minimum requirement, no extra points for that. Just wasn't his day. Just wasn't a team's day.
Yeah.
He
tried, but
just wasn't coming.
Just wasn't happening because nobody else was at the races either.
Yeah.
So he didn't do too much wrong. Didn't really deserve to come off, but I could understand Arteta wanted to try something new.
Yeah.
Lacazette.
I'm so happy that he got the goal. He needs goals for me to help the team if he's going to stay, if he doesn't go in this window. So I was really happy for him. Usually he would miss chances like that, let's be honest. But he put it away, and especially when we needed that goal, he came up with the goal. So very happy for him. Industrious as per usual every week. That's one thing about Lacazette, that you will always get industry from him. Everything else, I'm going to give him a 7 for that, for his performance.
Jamal?
Yeah.
You daydreaming there, son?
Yeah, I was just thinking of, he scored a goal. And,
thinking of lunch. That's what you're thinking of?
Yeah, I'm thinking of food as well.
It's past lunchtime.
Yeah. If you take away that goal, it's another poor show from him.
Explain though. How was it poor?
It was poor because
take away the goal. Let's say he didn't score.
I liked about him in the first half. He was making good runs. He scored the goal. I thought he's going to miss that chance, which is, but it was a good header. It was a good goal.
Forget the goal. Say the goal didn't exist. The other part of his game. If
you play in that position, if you are the center forward, right, the focal point, that ball has to stick. Too many times it's bad control or giving the ball away to the opposition or not seeing your teammate. So and he faded really bad in the second half.
You think so? I didn't.
Yeah, he faded. Do you remember him doing anything in the second half?
No, defensively, I remember him, tracking back and helping out.
And what was Gab saying? You don't get points for that. Right? So he's there for his attacking quality, right? And for that, even with the goal, I would give him a 6.
Okay. Lord.
Right?
Count Dooku.
Right? So
yeah, I can't disagree with Jamal, this week I'm feeling particularly generous.
The
I'm going
Emperor
to
strikes
give him a
back.
0.5 for the goal. But overall, you know, it was a Lacazette performance. Hard-working, industrious. He can't play with his back to goal. It's not his strength. You know, he's buffeted and barged by opposition defenders.
But he's scoring, which is a great plus.
Yes, I gave him a 0.5.
Yeah.
But in this role where he's playing with his back to goal,
Yeah.
you need that Didier Drogba,
Yeah.
Adebayor, who is going to control the ball and then bring somebody else in.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know what percentage of it is, but I would just say 7 times out of 10,
Yeah.
the ball comes to him. They either foul him, which then allows them to get back into position. He loses control of the ball, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So this playing into him with his back to goal doesn't help the way we play, I don't think. I don't know how we're going to address that, how we can improve on that, because he looks like he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But that is something that we've struggled with. Balls going to him laying it off. If the defender switches off, then 9 times out of 10 he'll sort it out. But if the defender's right on his backside, the majority of the time it all comes to nothing.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm just going to give him a 6 and then add the 0.5 on for a well taken goal. Aubameyang.
Okay. Aubameyang gets a 7 for me. Full of industry, brilliant assist. Usually, and don't think I'm knocking our captain, but usually he would scuff those sort of opportunities, you know. But
That cross.
the assist was brilliant.
Yeah, that would have
absolutely
either gone out for a goal kick
Yeah.
or it would have gone over for a throw in.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I like to see about him week in, week out is just that he always covers who's ever playing at left back. He always, you know, you see everyone's back against the wall, and then you see the late arrival of Aubameyang
High
doubling
speed.
up. So Aubameyang, yes, gets a 7 for me.
World class player. Because even in a tough game where the team did not perform, he performed, you know, with quality, right? So he had the presence to find Lacazette, which is a beautiful cross, and he created the most chances.
Yeah.
And I thought that left-hand side was our strongest avenue because of him.
Yeah.
And
Teams know this, though.
And this is how you know you have a really special player in a shocking game where a lot of our players were down. He was the shining light, the one that they hang on to get them through that tough period, right? So I think I would give him an 8 out of 10. And the thing is that was impressive as well. 96% passing accuracy, you know,
From Aubameyang.
yeah. Which was we
And
had a
realised-
go at him. We had
And
a go
notice
at
he
him.
was looking at you.
Yeah, we had a go at him last week, and rightly so, because he wasn't
What,
taking
touch
care
of
of
the
the ball.
trampoline?
But he understood in this kind of game, you have to take care of the ball.
Absolutely.
And for that, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, he
you
did.
know?
He really did take care of the ball yesterday, I must admit.
Aubameyang. Go on.
That
Go on, Gab.
was very in tune there, Jamal.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
that one for the choir? Would you say 8? I would give Aubameyang 7.5. I didn't know about this passing stats,
Yes.
but I did notice that the passing
heat
was
map.
a lot better from him this week. Great cross, worked tirelessly for the team. It's not really too much more I can add to his overall performance. A captain's performance for me. I will give him an 8.
Right, okay.
Let's move on to the subs.
Pepe?
Let's start with the Pepster.
Huffed, puffed, but didn't blow any houses down. I was in my head thinking, Willian needs to come off. We need some, ingenuity. We need some creativity. And he brought nothing. personally. So Pepe gets a 5-5. And I'm being generous.
Jamal?
Yeah, 4 for me because he just came on 27 minutes. I think gave the ball away
Didn't do anything.
way too many times. There was a there was a bit when he was trying to dribble on a corner flag, and he, got the ball in his feet mixed up. He didn't offer anything, and okay, to come into a match like that, it's always hard, right? But yeah, he didn't offer anything, and for that, I'll give him a 5, and he needs to really.
Did he say give him a 4?
4. 4. I'll give him a 4 because
Fair enough.
Pepe for me
not
gets
A 1. A 1.
Are you going to be a Count Dooku on that one?
No, he's being a Lord Vader. That's your title.
That's you.
Your title is Count Dooku.
I'm going to give Pepe a 4.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a 1.
No, I'll give him a
4
4.
is fair. 4 is fair.
4 is fair. Jeez.
Yeah, he was unimpressive when he came on. Really didn't see the point of the switch, to be fair. I can understand Arteta wanting to try something new, and I could see him telling Pepe to do something. You could see he was very animated in the way that he was speaking to Pepe. But all that animation, Pepe just ignored it when he came on the pitch and said, I'm doing my own thing. And yeah, it didn't work. So he's getting a 4.
Okay.
But let's now move on, last but not least, to the man of the hour.
Eddie,
a.k.a. Marlo Stanfield.
Yes. Separated at birth. Marlo Stanfield is from The Wire, if anyone doesn't know. Anyway, Eddie gets a 7.5 for me. He came on. Arteta gave him instructions, and he followed it to the T. He was pressing. He was full of energy. Led from the front. And the goal, brilliant. We have a goal poacher in our ranks. And Eddie gets it for me, 7.5.
Absolutely.
I'll give him an 8. Goal poacher. What I liked about him is the way that cleverly he stayed on side.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lacazette would have been offside. Sorry, Lacazette. And he came on. He switched. That's really hard for a young player. How long? How many minutes he was on?
Not long.
Not long. And he's sharp. He's ready. He's hungry.
As he needs to be.
I'm sure he watched a lot of Ian Wright tapes where he just hung around that 6-yard box, right?
He's got nowhere else to be. Where else
he's
is he
in a
Ian Wright
rich
speaks
vein
to
of
him.
form. He's been scoring goals a lot.
You know Ian Wright speaks to him, right?
Right, and we're finally seeing, they text each other, and we're seeing now why Arteta likes this kid, right? Because he's
still has a lot to learn.
Let's not get carried away.
Match winner.
He was the match winner
I'm
today.
getting carried away, Gab. We got a poacher. Fantastic. Match winner. How old is he?
20.
Fantastic.
18, 20.
Come on, we got a poacher. Let's take care of this kid.
I'm going to give him a 7.
Eddie.
I'm going to give him a 7.5. I would have given him an 8, but the fact that he's still learning his game with that running into the corner against good teams,
13
run
minutes.
down the clock. Don't put the ball in. Aubameyang is not going to have a go at you for running down the clock, getting a foul, kicking it off the shins of the attacker.
Yeah.
Get a corner, run down the clock. That bit he needs to learn and should hopefully come in time.
Yeah.
But 7.5 for me.
Okay. So, now, music. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right, so it's play for the badge. So who for you played for the badge?
Ceballos,
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel,
Mm-hmm.
and Aubameyang, our captain.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Gabes, who played for the badge?
For me, I will give the honour of playing for our badge or playing for the badge to Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I believe he's your man of the match as well,
Yeah,
right?
that's it for me, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I go with you, Gabriel. Yeah. So, the next one, the opposite play for the badge, is who should go in the bin this week. Okay, so who should go in the bin for me? And I will always love you. Ooh. The bodyguard.
There's no other choice.
There's no one else. He is going in the bin this week. He was awful. When I heard Kieran Tierney wasn't starting, well, he was starting, but then through injury was replaced by Kolasinac.
Hearts in mouth.
Yeah.
The good news about Tierney is that I read this morning that he'll be okay. It was just
Sinking feeling.
muscle problem,
A little strain.
and
Thank
yeah,
goodness.
it has to
Amen
be
and hallelujah.
Kolasinac, 100%. Why is he there? That's it. Go on.
He's there because we can't get rid of him. And yes, I will bring in the rear and also add Kolasinac to the ranks of get in the bin, son.
Yeah, permanently.
All right. So
Take out the trash.
we had who played for the badge. We had who gets in the bin. We didn't do the rating for the manager. So what do we give Arteta? Just before we go into our second segment of the show.
Yep. Okay, I'll go first. I think Arteta, I'll give him 7 out of 10. Another impressive performance from him. Again, in a really difficult game, he's managed to somehow change the game and find a winner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of his genius that, he saw that left-hand side, it's where we can exploit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he instructed one of his players to go through that side, the
Right.
inside, and find the decisive moment.
Okay.
So I can't fault him. 7 out of 10.
I'll agree. I'll give him 7. When it was 1-1 and we were under the cosh a bit and West Ham would come in, I was a bit concerned. The substitutions didn't seem to make much difference. Well, the first substitution of Pepe didn't seem to make much difference.
Yeah.
But, he brought Eddie on and that substitution appeared to work. So I'll give him a 7.
Okay, I'll give him an 8. He kept the team. I could hear him on the sideline.
Yeah.
Kept the team going, instructing. Even when Eddie gave that sloppy pass to Aubameyang, he was calling Eddie, shouting at Eddie, "Get back, come on!" So I'm gonna give him an 8. Done.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's second segment time. So what do we have? Second segment topic is the Aubameyang signing.
Finally.
Great signing.
All right. So what do we think?
A very important signing.
Yeah.
Very important. We know that.
He hasn't left at the club's moment of need. Unlike other captains
In the past.
and previous players, which they were entitled to do. You've got a short career. You're in the game to win medals. I don't understand the criticism some players get
100%.
when they feel that they have to move on to win trophies.
Yep.
I don't get that criticism.
Yep.
But it was a fantastic signing. Probably our most important signing because it sent out a message that players are staying. So other players that we might look at to come into the club can look at the club and say their most important player has stayed.
Yep.
Rather than, well, why am I going to go and join that club if their best player is wanting to leave?
Yeah.
It sends an important statement and an important message.
Totally agree.
100%. The best signing that we can make, because he's the one genuinely world class player that we have who, You know,
The only world class player we have.
yep. So where are you going to find if you even tell him where are you going to find his goals?
You can't replace him.
You can't
Right.
replace him.
How much will you have to spend?
Exactly.
To,
You have to spend at least 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's just
And
like,
we'd like Arsenal, we'd probably sell him for 30
that's a massive
million.
L. You know.
Yeah.
So,
But like you
yeah,
said,
So he feels the club. You know, he's happy to stay. He rejected other clubs to stay, so it's fantastic.
yeah, like you said, we've lifted the curse
Yeah.
of the previous captains that have left.
And that tells you that he sees the club is going in the right direction, that he believes in Arteta's vision, which is good.
I was just about to say that. So, yeah, you brought up a really good point. So it shows you that the Arteta effect is working. Can we build a team around him? Because I feel that, you know, he's our talisman. He's the man that gets our goals. So it's we need to really build upon this signing with more signings, you know, and to make the team better. And what I liked is he says he wants to create a legacy here.
Yeah.
And that was just it was sweet music to my ears.
He wants to become a legend.
He wants to become a legend.
Right.
And that was so good to hear. So, yeah, you know, let's just hope that he can continue and get a record and create a legacy. So, off the back of that, we have a certain Tim Sherwood and his comments about the Aubameyang signing and his comments on Arteta. So let's just quickly touch on that.
Yep.
You know, what he said, what his views were on the Aubameyang signing. So what we thinking about what he says?
Well, Tim, you know what Tim Sherwood's about. Tim Sherwood, I've just gone on here to see what Tim Sherwood has said about Aubameyang, and apparently Tim Sherwood claims to have discovered Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
How does that work? How did that work? How did he discover that?
It says that he...
When he can't even pronounce his name right.
Exactly, Mr. Aubameyang. He was one of the first to discover Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he urged Spurs to buy the former Borussia Dortmund striker.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's when Aubameyang destroyed his team in the Champions League. No, in the Europa League.
Yeah, he said he asked they played them in the... Where is it? In the Europa League.
Yeah.
And apparently he gave them a tough time.
Aubameyang
He was
destroyed
looking for Sandro, and he was playing up against this young boy running up and down the right hand side who was giving Sandro a tough time, and he called up Spurs and said, "Oh, you need to go and get this player.
You need to get this guy, Aubameyang,
Oh, my days.
Boomerang, whatever he called him."
And that he said he also claimed that nobody else. The only reason he signed for Arsenal was that no other big clubs were in for him.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. That was a really good one. There's nowhere else to go. No teams in England, the big clubs in England, would want him. And there was no other teams,
Yeah, did he also
Barca,
say,
Inter,
go out?
Juventus. None of them came in for him.
And he probably said, "Go out and get Lacazette." Yeah. Did he also say, "Go out and get Lacazette"?
Oh, Lacazette.
Lacazette.
Right, okay.
God, that was that video that you sent of that segment where he was talking about Spurs left back Reguilon, and he was saying that he's completely average. Well, he hasn't seen him. He's just he just comes up with we talked about this yesterday. His
The bias.
in
Combined 11
combined
of
11.
all
of North London.
all Tottenham players were in Tim Sherwood's
Yep, he had
combined 11.
Harry Winks was in the
The
team.
North London derby was playing,
Yeah,
was about to be played, and his combined 11 was all Tottenham players.
Yeah.
Biased or what?
He's a clown. The guy just talks nonsense when he's on the television.
He's a classic example that just because you played the game doesn't mean you can talk about the game.
When he comes on, they should just play and just have him come on with a big suit, a big red nose, a bowler hat, a flower in his shirt that squirts water, a little tricycle, because he's a clown. The man's an idiot who just talks trash and can't be.
drivel.
He can't be. I know you're gonna have your allegiances, but be honest and be fair.
Yeah, but
You know, if a team is good, say a team is good. If a player is good, say he's good. I will say Harry Kane is a fantastic striker. He plays for Spurs. It'll be foolish of me to say otherwise.
But look at all the other pundits. You got Ian Wright, his allegiance with Arsenal. But if there's a good player that plays for another team, he'll say Danny Murphy, Jermaine Genius. They'll all, Murphy's Liverpool, Genius is Spurs. But if there's, good players playing for opposition side,
It sounds like he's been on the. He sounds like he's been on the sauce before he comes on.
he does.
The TV.
Yeah,
he does. I'm sorry.
Looks,
He needs to breathalyze.
what did he
him
say
before
about Danny
comes on.
Ceballos? What did he say about Danny Ceballos?
Danny Ceballos is weak.
He's average and too weak for the Premier League, and Mikel Arteta must use Mesut Ozil if he's trying to get into the top four. So,
Yeah,
Sherwood, please.
Sherwood. How was his managerial career?
Villa.
Wasn't he bombed out of Spurs?
Yeah, bombed out of Spurs, bombed out of Villa,
Wasn't he stuck in a cannon and fired out of Villa?
bombed out of Swindon. I think he was at Swindon as well.
Please just don't go any further
Let's
with
just
this
move
guy.
on with this guy.
He's lost more
Okay.
games than one, so bye.
So it's transfer talk. All right, so we've got Torreira and we've got Liverpool signings. So Torreira, what we saying? We're hearing rumours from Italy and
Yes.
Spain.
Yes.
What we saying? Quickly touching on this.
Adios.
Yeah, so he's apparently close to joining Torino, which is
Milan apparently like him.
Milan like him as well, and apparently Simeone is a fan.
Listen, if we can get that
Diego
Partey swap
Simeone's
deal,
fallen off,
oh
isn't he?
my
He's,
days.
He likes him. So thank you very much, Mr. Just give us Partey, and we'll give you Torreira plus cash,
Okay.
which will probably be 45 million.
Yeah, he was supposed to be this player that he was going to fill this space, but it hasn't worked out for him. His passing in the middle of the park, is quite poor at times.
And he started so well.
He started off well. We thought we had found the answer.
I'm just hoping. Okay, I'm just thinking that there's a good player there. It just hasn't settled in this country because,
but as me and Gabe has said, in the past, we know there's better than
100%.
Torreira.
And he just looks small.
Exactly. He hasn't got Makelele was small, but he hasn't got that tenacity or that.
And Kante's
class.
small as well, but Kante's just a different animal, different beast.
Yeah, so hopefully he's moved on and we get something better.
Yep.
Don't get us wrong, we're not knocking him over the head, but
Yep.
we know that there's better out there.
Yep.
Okay, so just moving on, touching on to Liverpool. Let's start with their signings, and then we'll go on to the Liverpool game that's coming up, before we touch on the Leicester game as well. So their signings, just quickly on that. So Thiago and Jota.
And Jota, two good signings. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's a Liverpool fan, and he was worried. After the Leeds game, he was worried because we lack creativity. There's no control in midfield. The front three. Okay, Salah's scoring, but they're not functioning the same way. We won the game, but the defense was shocking. And then boom, they produced these two signings. Very good. Thiago,
out of
who's
nowhere,
exactly the type of player that we could use in midfield. That controller that pings the ball. I agree with you. That doesn't mean that he will come into the Premier League and
hit the ball, hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running. But
that could be said for any player.
Yes, they've gone into the market and they produced 2 rabbits out the hat, which is good.
But who's gonna make way for Thiago? Because Thiago's not coming.
Looks
to sit on
like
the bench.
I think Wijnaldum is on his way out, from what I'm hearing.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Which then asks the question:
looks at that. Yeah, Henderson.
why are Barcelona getting Wijnaldum instead of Thiago?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're not at it. You know, they're just looking for names now.
What, and Wijnaldum's a bigger name than Thiago?
Koeman is in charge.
That's true.
To him,
yeah, enough.
to him, he knows Wijnaldum.
Yeah, he's Dutch. No,
Yeah.
Wijnaldum's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah. So
That's what they're going to go back to, a team full of Dutchmen.
the Dutchmen who always flop at that club. Because remember they signed a whole host of them back in.
Yeah.
They got Overmars in, Ronald de Boer,
Who's the
Philip
guy with the
Cocu in
glasses?
it, wasn't
Kluivert. Edgar Davids was a huge hit for them because I think he was a good signing. But for some reason, Dutch players don't do well at that club. Just Wijnaldum, stay where you are, mate. Because you'll get ripped apart at that club when they see your passing.
So what do you think, Gabes?
I think that too. I'm a big fan of Diego Jota. I would love to have had him at Arsenal.
100%. I would like to have Thiago at Arsenal. No.
I prefer, out of that Wolves team, I always thought Diego Jota was the better player.
Yes.
Jimenez got all the plaudits with his goals.
Yeah.
But
And
Jota
Traore
was
as
the
well.
man who made that team tick for me.
100%.
Yeah.
And he's 23.
So, yeah, I think those are 2 great signings for Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel that Jota is the player that Liverpool have needed for a few seasons, because they needed someone with a creative spark, and I feel that they've got that player. Thiago, don't see why they've signed him, because they've got similar players. So it's very frightening. It's very, very frightening. But that's what you're supposed to do. When you win the title, you need to bolster your squad and add to the winning squad with quality.
Which is what Arsene Wenger never did.
Which is what Wenger never done.
He never built from a position of strength.
Absolutely.
97-98 season, the invincible years, he didn't strengthen from a position of strength.
Yeah.
So okay. So sticking with Liverpool, our next league trip, Premier League trip, is away to Liverpool, a place where we've got a beating. We've had some hammerings from since season 14. The 2014 season. We've lost 5-1, drew 2-2, then drew 3-3, lost 3-1, lost 4-0, lost 5-1, and last season we lost 3-1. And those have been our away visits to Anfield. Can we turn the corner?
Not this season.
Not this season.
I'm expecting us to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll lose either 3-0 or 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not ready. I think us beating Liverpool twice in recent times, and the way Klopp made his team wait after the Charity Shield.
Mm-hmm.
He made them watch, didn't he? Was that Klopp or was that Lampard? Am I getting it confused?
It's Klopp.
Is it Klopp? He made them
No,
watch, and as soon as we got
Lampard is not going to show you that courtesy.
For me, that was Klopp saying to his players, "You lost today. Look at them celebrating.
Don't let it happen
Remember
again."
when they come to Anfield."
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to be in for a torrid evening.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a tough game.
If we can come out of there with a point, it would be miraculous.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not expecting us to come out of there with anything.
Jamal?
I will go the opposite way. I think this is the kind of game that suits us. When a team sits for us, a low block, 9 men behind the ball, we struggle because we lack creativity. But this game where the pressure will be on the opposition to break us down, to break us down, and I think it won't be as
Straightforward.
as hopeless as
As disastrous.
as calamitous as what my friend is saying. But I think it'll be a tight game. I think it will still come up short because there's too many mistakes in us in key areas, and I'm hoping Tien is fit. Oh please, God, that he's fit. But these like against the top teams recently, Liverpool, Chelsea, we perform better.
And we don't want Liverpool to get angry
So
because
I won't be
today,
surprised. I won't be surprised. I can't see us winning the game, but I won't be surprised if we get a point.
okay.
Right?
But what I was going to say is we don't want Liverpool to get angry and suffer a defeat today because they're playing Chelsea.
Yes, one encouraging thing.
So
no,
please
no,
win.
No. It's great if they lose. If they lose,
No, it
because
ain't great if they lose because we're the next game.
One thing. And look out for this game. They for some reason, okay, they got all these Jotas and Alcantaras, right? Defensively, they haven't ever since that they got knocked out of the Champions League. They haven't been defending well, right? And they haven't freshened up that back four. And you need beyond that. They've been lucky with injuries. Beyond that, they could be. So I hope that we take advantage of that.
Who's looking for Koulibaly? Is it Liverpool or Man City?
City,
Okay.
and Manchester United.
Man United are in for everyone.
Yeah. So
What do you think?
Did I not? I thought I said.
Yeah, I think he chipped in.
Yeah,
Okay.
I chipped in. I came with the facts and the stats, my
At
friend.
the beginning. But do you think we'll win?
No, because we weren't. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
he agreed with you that.
You think we'll lose?
yeah, I think we'll lose.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll get a draw.
I think we'll lose. What I'm looking for in this performance is the gap that we close.
Yeah.
Will we get that 5-1 drubbing, 4-1 drubbing?
I don't think we'll get unless.
Will it be?
Unless Homo
2-1?
gets sent off. I'm really hoping.
I'm happy
someone-
with a 2-1.
I'm really hoping no one gets sent off because that you will just get sparked in that.
Yeah.
At Anfield, they'll rip you to shreds.
Yeah.
Right. They'll
But
pounce on that.
I want Arteta to look at the Leeds United game.
Yeah. I'm saying
I want Arteta
defensively they're not impressive anymore.
because Leeds were adventurous.
They're going to score a lot of goals.
So that's what I want Arteta to be buoyed by. So, yeah. So, we are going back down memory lane. And we're going to the best and the worst keepers. Listeners, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats because we're going right back. And this should be a laugh. Right, so the best and the worst keepers. So who remembers Vito Manoni?
Vito Manoni.
I am Vito Manoni. All right.
Who remembers him?
Yeah. Oh dear. Not very good.
He
Awful
played
song
what,
for an
26.
awful player.
So he came from Italy.
That's I said it.
An Italian goalkeeper. Didn't really feature much. He only had about 26 games. So for Vito.
Yeah,
One
he
who's
wasn't
currently
great.
here. We'll just touch on him. He's our third choice goalkeeper. That's Matt Macy. Rumours that he will be leaving the club because I think he wants to go on to pastures new and fresh new challenge. But those are just rumours in the rumour mill. What do we think of Matt Macy, just quickly?
I don't really know. He hasn't played that much, has he? So
Nah,
I don't really.
not really.
I don't really have an opinion on him.
Why did you have to bring up Vito Manoni?
Yeah, because
Every
we
time.
have to go back.
Because I'm just
to the
remembering that
past.
Olympiacos game
Yeah,
where, oh my goodness, it's just one of a long line of
of course.
terrible Wenger buys.
Of course.
You know,
So we have to go to that. So,
yeah, it's just.
uh,
It says here that he's currently a free agent. I'm not surprised.
yeah, well, anyway. So this goalkeeper was calamitous for us and listen, there's a host of goalkeepers that were calamitous, so, take your pick. But this one, for some reason, whenever he plays against us, and I've raised my vocal tones here, he always pulls off a worldie. He played against us yesterday and almost pulled off.
Yeah.
Almost. With his team.
What did he do the previous week? He chucked it in as usual.
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, viewers, Lucas Fabianski. My goodness gracious me.
He flaps against everyone except us.
Whenever
and that
he
includes
comes,
when he's playing for us, he flaps.
Whenever he plays against us, he always has a brilliant game. Always.
64 starts in 7 years. Just over 2 million we played for him. What a waste of money that was.
What a waste of money. And then the thing was, he had a bit of a run with us, had some good games.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, out of the inkwell comes Coco the clown. It was just, my goodness. With Fabianski, well, you could decide, but
he was in a battle with Szczesny, wasn't he?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fabianski, and the other clown we had was Almunia.
Why could you save him till the latter?
Oh my goodness.
Because Manuel Almunia.
You know what? I was watching clips of him, and there's a lot of great clips of him making amazing saves, right?
For who though?
He's a good shot stopper, but terrible at everything else.
Manuel Almunia.
He fell out with Lehman, didn't he?
Lehman, yeah, because he wanted that number one spot, yeah.
And speak to each other.
Yeah,
which must have been a weird thing if you're training as goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Lehman was a weirdo anyway.
Lehman must have been laughing though.
No, but we'll get on to Lehman.
Lehman we'll start a fight with himself in the mirror.
Yeah. Well, we'll get on to Lehman in a minute.
Almunia he retired. He had a heart problem.
Did he?
That's why he retired in 2014.
He was giving me heart problems.
Yeah, and me.
He's giving himself heart problems watching his videos.
He gave the whole Arsenal fan base heart problems.
Watching himself, he developed his heart problem.
He just didn't have the look. He had no look, no aura, no presence.
He looked like one of those those people that do those illegal parties in the forest.
Thank you.
He would make great saves. Like he would look world class, and then suddenly he would just turn into a galloping donkey and come out of the area, and here comes Munir to ruin the day.
Here I come to save the day.
I'm sorry, but Almunia was terrible.
Mouse, isn't it?
Yeah, here he comes to ruin the day.
So moving on, we're going to go to our goalkeeper who we just mentioned. He's an invincible.
Yeah.
He helped us, win a lot of honours. He helped us go on a 49-game unbeaten run. Yeah. And it's the crazy, mad German. It's Jens Lehmann.
Jens the lunatic.
Where's the applause?
Love him. You need a lunatic. Sometimes you need psychopaths in goal. And he was one of them, and no one used to mess with him.
Who remembers the drama with him and Didier Drogba? When they both fell down. Oh, my God. Trying to get each other sent off. Yeah. Oh, look, he hit me in my eye. He poked me in my eye. I shall fall down now in 3, 2, 1. And action.
Didn't he try to strangle Robbie Keane once on the goal line?
Yeah.
Robbie Keane tried to barge and was like, I don't know. Choke the shit out of you.
Lehman was crazy. He's like the monk from Mean Machine. Yeah, he's like that. Jeez, man. Lehman was a Looney Tune.
He's one of those players that once you have him, you overlook him, but when he's gone, like Gilberto,
yeah,
you look at Almunia and you say to yourself, "Oh my goodness, look what you have in goal."
Yeah,
but we've jumped to Lehman, but we've missed out David Ospina.
Oh, no, we haven't missed Ospina. We were coming to him.
You know what, Mr. Statsman? He had the best saving percentage of all our keepers ever.
Who?
Ospina.
What,
crazy.
one game? One game, no
a handful
goals.
of games. Yeah,
Yeah, he was a handful of games, man.
He wasn't terrible, but it's just that one game.
No, Ospina wasn't terrible. He was all right, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It's just
He's all right.
He looked like a hitman.
again, it was
One of the cartels.
I'm
like,
gonna
like what you said about the Leno. It's the size thing. He just looks,
He looks overweight.
and small as well.
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna rinse off some names just before we get to the other standout names. So who remembers Vince Bartram?
Nope.
No one remembers him. Understudy to Seaman.
Nope.
Mark Poom.
Yes, I remember him. Blonde hair.
Yeah,
I remember
came
his,
from
I remember his
Derby.
strange- I remember his strange name.
Yeah. Remy Shaban.
Yeah, very
Who?
dark haired. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
him. Rami
third
Shaban.
choice. Who remembers our Essex boy? Stuart Taylor.
Oh, fantastic! I remember him.
Pretty
was
boy.
it against Man United. I think who got injured. Somebody got injured. I think Seaman got injured. Was it
Yeah.
against Manchester
He
United?
was
And
an understudy.
Taylor came on, and he was outstanding. And then after that, he disappeared.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Right?
Who remembers Richard Wright?
Yes.
Yes, Richard Wright.
So much
From
promise.
Ipswich.
Yeah,
Yes.
promise
He
and
was
hope.
great at Ipswich.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was, wasn't
That's
he?
why we bought him, and then he came and
Yeah, he came in that season when we bought Campbell and Inamoto. Was it Inamoto?
Inamoto, yeah.
Inamoto
Yep.
and Van Bronckhorst and Franny Jeffers.
Arsenal was transfer
I think
windows.
Franny Jeffers was a little bit earlier than that. I think
No.
Franny Jeffers wasn't.
They came in the same season, my
Wasn't
friend.
Franny Jeffers around 98, 99?
No.
I swear it was earlier than
No. If you look at it,
Yeah.
we bought 5 players that season
Okay.
on the Sol Campbell season. Yeah. So we'll go to John Lukage. So some of you younger viewers might not know who John Lukage is.
Yes, very top draw keeper, John Lukic.
Yeah.
I agree. One of the unsung heroes, right?
He played in 4 different decades or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was an understudy to Pat
Longevity.
Jennings.
Yeah, longevity. Man.
Longevity.
Yeah.
Just like Buster Rhymes, yeah?
Yeah, so, John Lukage won some honours with us. He was in the goal 89.
Yep.
He was a goalkeeper for us, Anfield 89. Yeah, and he had a really good career. So,
Yeah.
we move on to Wojtek Szczesny.
The fag man.
The fag man, huh?
Don't mind me, guys. I've got nothing to do. I'm just taking a cigarette. I'm just smoking a cigarette.
It was
What happened to him? He
probably
just
it was probably a
imploded?
spliff. I don't think it was cigarette. It was probably a
What happened
spliff.
to him? He just imploded. What was all that about?
Yeah, but Szczesny, when
Caught
the
smoking in the
arrogance sets
showers
in.
after a 2-0. Couldn't he wait to get home?
When the
was
arrogance
definitely,
sets in.
It was definitely a spliff. I don't think it was like.
Wow.
Yeah,
But I'm glad we moved him on anyway. I think he had no competition. I think that was the issue with him.
That's
as well.
what it was.
and
That's
still
why.
and he was still cocky as well.
Yeah, he had
That's
no
why.
competition.
He thought he was better than he really was.
Yeah, that's why.
Like all that troll. We all liked the trolling of Tottenham players and Tottenham, and but you have to do your job first, Chesney.
Yep, true.
And there was always a mistake in him. How was he at Juve? Any of you watching him?
No.
I saw him. I think what was it Man United game when they played him? He chucked one in. So he's got a mistake in him.
He's always had a mistake in him.
Yeah.
Always would play great for a couple of games and then flop. Alex Manninger.
Yeah, he done well when he came in.
Mm-hmm.
He done so well that Wenger gave him a medal, even though he wasn't eligible for one.
Oh, that's good.
They gave him a Premier League medal.
Agent Czech.
No. I didn't understand it at the time. I don't agree with this cross-party transfers.
The only
cross-rival
transfer that season when Leicester
But,
won the league, went on to win the league.
I think
Yeah,
it was
it,
just.
it summed it up when he just, as soon as his contract was up, he fucked off back to Chelsea.
Yeah, it was just papering over the cracks. It was just one of those.
Should never have happened.
illicit-
Should never have happened
Yeah.
with Agent Czech.
It was just one of those things where we just.
We couldn't be bothered to do our homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get plenty. They keep us out there. Go find them.
exactly.
Yeah, fucking get checked from
Right.
Chelsea and then pay him a shitload of money. He
Right.
plays the drums, and then I'm going back home.
Yeah.
Fuck off! Should have never have come here.
Yeah. You and your stupid hat.
So, our present keeper. Okay, so Emi Martinez and Bernd Leno.
I think we had two of the best goalkeepers in the league as a pair,
Yep.
and we decided to split them up. But I'm still a big fan of Leno because, like, ever since he came,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's impressed us,
Yeah.
right? He's still got improvements, right? And I'm a little bit sad that we let go of Martinez, you know, especially after the FA Cup win,
Mhm.
right? I thought he would get an opportunity at that number one and just fight it out. Just fight it out,
Right. Okay.
right? Just fight it out and see who comes up on top, and the other one, bye.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but Leno is a good is a good goalkeeper.
Right.
I'm not too downhearted, right?
Mm.
So, and I'm
Well,
Yeah.
it is what it is. He's gone now, so we can't
He's
ask
gone,
for our
yeah.
money back.
yeah. Hopefully, the keepers that we buy are of the quality, like of the likes of Martinez. So
Yep. Just quickly,
Yeah.
going back in time, do we class Pat Jennings as an Arsenal legend? Came from Tottenham, 427 games,
Mm-hmm.
played 200 and odd for Arsenal, and went back to Tottenham.
I don't know. I think you'd need to ask somebody who actually watched him.
yeah, I haven't watched him, so I can't.
No, but
Yeah,
with that record, do you class him as an Arsenal legend?
You can only class somebody as a legend if you see them,
yeah.
rather than the amount of games they've played. So, I don't know.
And he was
If
allowed.
somebody who played him and then they saw him and said, "Yeah, he was fantastic," then they would be more. They'd be more in place to
You
apply
got
it.
big
But I
balls to
don't know
come back
anything
to
about
Arsenal.
him.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about him.
yeah, same.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give Bob Wilson a little shout out as well, who played 11 years for the club,
Fantastic.
winning 3 honours,
Legend.
234 games for the club. So I'm going to give him a massive shout out.
Mhm.
You know, wasn't there to see him,
Yeah.
but from what the history books can tell me,
Yeah,
he was a great servant to the club.
absolutely.
So Bob Wilson, tip my hat off to you, sir.
Same.
All right, so quickly, we've just got to do the score predictions. Leicester this week.
We missed a legend. We missed David Seaman, didn't
David
we?
Seaman, yeah.
Oh my days!
Seaman.
Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Forgive
Seaman.
me. I thought you was gonna tell me,
Slide it in, yeah.
slide it in. You let me go out without tipping my hat off to
Yep. He.
the one and only.
Yeah.
Now,
David
Gabe, you
Seaman.
could start since you reminded me.
Oh, David Seaman's a legend, mate. Greatest save in the history of modern day football with that save against
Yeah.
Paul
Sheffield.
Pescasolido.
Sheffield United, isn't it?
Yeah.
That ball was in.
Yeah.
And I've been to his house.
Fantastic. You
I
can
went to his house.
tell that story some other time, Gabs.
No, I went to deliver his.
Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, well, we'd played Liverpool the day before, and we'd lost.
Yeah.
And I was working with Harrods at the time, and I was taking up a packet of envelopes to his house. And his wife came to the door. I recognised her. And man, what a house! Horses, tennis court, like a football pitch at the back side of it. And I gave him this scrappy piece of paper to sign, and he said, "Oh, I'll be back." And then he came out with this already signed picture of himself.
Oh, fantastic.
So he must have a stack of them inside his house.
But did you ask him for his autograph?
I asked him for his
Oh,
autograph,
all right, but you.
And he gave me a picture.
and then he gave me a picture that was already signed. So I was like, I gave it to my kids.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice guy.
It's a great story.
Lived in the middle of nowhere.
David Seaman. What a legend, eh?
Yeah, from QPR to
Ridiculed.
Harry
at-
Monk.
Yeah, ridiculed at QPR.
Yeah,
So we said,
It's a
you know what,
great
we'll
find.
take him.
great find.
Turn him into a legend.
Yeah.
Harry Monk.
Yeah,
And
my
trophy-
goodness.
And trophies followed.
Exactly.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we won't get to speak about Danny Rose and
We'll get back to him.
Yeah, we can talk about that next week.
Gareth
Yeah.
Bell. So
Yeah.
sorry, we couldn't touch on those 2 points. Just quickly,
Yeah.
we're going to go to score predictions. Leicester, Liverpool. Let's go.
Leicester, I think it's a tough game at Leicester. I'm hoping that it's going to be a tough game. 2-1 Arsenal.
Ooh, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal as well. Going to be very difficult. They've just signed Chenzik Under, haven't they?
Who's that?
Who is he?
Some guy from Roma. Some Turkish guy from Roma.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he'll be ready for that game, but they're improving their squad, which I said last time
Everyone is.
will
Yeah.
maybe depend on how they finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal for that game.
2-1. Going with the gang here.
Yep.
Right. Liverpool.
Liverpool, I'm going for 2-2.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
That's good.
I'm going for a 3-1 loss.
Oh, man.
Maybe
Same.
even a 3-0.
Same.
Are we going to get smashed up, yeah?
Same. I said, in the show, I wouldn't mind like a 2-1, but I just think Liverpool are just going to destroy
I'm
us.
hoping the new signings are not ready by then.
Nah, whoever they are
if
or
they
not,
bring-
I think Liverpool are going to destroy
Like
us.
if
I'm
we
sorry, Arsenal fans
if
out
we
there
win in
listening
the game
and
and they throw
watching.
in Jota and Thiago, that'd be that would be a bummer.
Anyway,
But yeah, forget about that. We have to get our signings in order.
yes,
we have to
but
close
we'll
business.
touch on that
Yeah.
next
Come
week.
on, Awar. I'm hearing he signed. He agreed terms.
Yeah, and Partey wouldn't go amiss
And
as well.
Partey, yeah.
Okay, so
He's ready with the champagne when he signs. So
yes,
The champagne's for Ozil when he leaves.
come on, man. Ozil, come on, Leicester. 3. Yeah.
okay.
Come on. I think he will do well midweek. Come on, Ozil.
So, episode 5 from the Magic Hat Show. You had Lee, you had Jam, you had Gabs.
Thank you.
So, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at the Magic Hat Show.
Thank you.
Jamal, please give everyone your handle.
Magic Hat Jam.
Lovely.
Yep. Across the board. Yep.
Okay, so it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from them.
Adios.
Music!
Come on, Arsenal.
Hey!